Hi everyone, it's Don Walker, also known as the Meandering Grampa, and I'd like to take you along with me on a window shopping tour of the very old city of Istanbul, Turkey. I'm in Sultanahmet now. It's a cool, damp afternoon, and I'm walking not far from the famed Blue Mosque. With its 6 minarets, this is one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city, in the very heart of what was once Constantinople, capital of the Byzantine Empire. And it is absolutely one of the most fascinating places in the world to wander around with a camera. Today is Sunday and the Arasta Bazaar is open for business as usual, flooded with shoppers from all over the world. This part of town has been a world marketplace for nearly 1,500 years. Merchants once arrived here from the far ends of the Silk Road, bringing silk from China, spices from India, glass from Venice, and gold from Africa. Everything valuable passed through this narrow peninsula between Europe and Asia. It has long been a perfect spot for trade, with a natural harbor, easy access to 2 continents, and rulers who knew how to tax every passing ship and caravan. In 1543, the Ottomans took over the mercantile tradition from the Byzantine Romans and expanded this city of commerce with covered markets called the bedestens, which kept the rain off the merchants and their goods. The Arasta Bazaar itself was originally built centuries ago as part of the nearby mosque complex to help fund its upkeep. Today it's a shaded lane of tasteful shops selling rugs, ceramics, jewelry, and textiles. Merchants will often greet you with a smile and a bit of conversation before inviting you in for tea and a lengthy sales pitch. I spent several afternoons here previously just walking these cobbled lanes, photographing wonderful window displays that seem like miniature museums of color and craftsmanship, and of course I ended up purchasing a few items myself. So, in one window, you'll see hand-loomed carpets neatly rolled and folded. In another, silver filigree necklaces so fine they looked like frost. A few doors down, leather jackets and tall, colorful boots are lined up like soldiers. There are also plenty of confectionery shops stacked with Turkish delight, pistachio nougat, and syrup-soaked baklava. Everywhere the smells of roasted meat, coffee, and spices are drifting in the air. Istanbul is a city of thriving shopkeepers, and they are a lively, persistent, and good-humored bunch. Most of them speak several languages: Turkish, English, Arabic, also a bit of French, and Russian. And they switch between them quite easily. A casual stroll here turns into a lesson in world geography. In the space of just a few steps, you might hear a Saudi family bargaining for gold jewelry, a group of Germans admiring ceramics, and perhaps an American couple asking about shipping a $10,000 carpet home. It's a living crossroads of culture and commerce. People sometimes describe Istanbul as where East meets West, and this is true in the most literal way. Standing on these streets, you're physically on the border between continents. The styles you see in the shop windows mirror that dual identity. A European sense of display, carefully arranged lights, polished glass, price tags in euros, blends with the older Middle Eastern tradition of haggling, hospitality, and showmanship. What strikes me most is how this city has remained a shopping destination for so long. Centuries before Paris and Milan became fashion capitals, the rulers of Byzantium and the Ottoman Empire were commissioning the very best artisans in the world. Their workshops produced silk brocades, enameled metalwork, and carpets fine enough to decorate palaces. Those same skills, passed down through generations, are what modern visitors still come to see and buy. Wealthy travelers from the Gulf states, North Africa, and Europe all find something here that suits their tastes. A rug from Istanbul isn't just a floor covering, it's a story woven in wool. Even in today's global economy, Istanbul holds a special niche. It bridges two kinds of luxury: the traditional handmade object that carries a trace of history, and the modern boutique item designed for an international audience. The old crafts survive here partly because this city has never stopped being a meeting place. Fashion trends and even nations may come and go, but there will always be someone arriving from one direction here in Istanbul and then leaving toward another, perhaps with a new carpet or golden bracelet. When I think about these scenes which you see in the photos here, the glittering windows, the colorful tourists, the shopkeepers calling out in a dozen languages, it's easy to see why so many travelers are still drawn to this ancient city. Over many centuries, Istanbul has retained the atmosphere of an ancient empire where you can easily imagine standing on a corner and watching the entire sweep of history move past you. The Romans, Byzantines, Ottomans, plus adventurers of every race and from every continent have all been here, converging in these very same few blocks. Window shopping in Istanbul, for me at least, isn't really so much about buying anything. Instead, it's more about looking, absorbing, and imagining. Every window display we've seen here hints at some distant family workshop, some long-forgotten trade route, some ancient craft passed down from generation to generation, and perhaps even some venerable old hands that once shaped the very same materials centuries ago. In these streets, commerce and culture are two sides of the same coin. So that's where I'll leave you today, here in Sultanahmet, beneath the rain-washed mosque domes and among these colorful windows filled with rugs and gold and sweets. Istanbul remains what it has always been, a city of passage, of meeting, of commerce and exchange, and also a place where people from all over the world still come to admire the ancient crafts, and to look and to shop. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that you have enjoyed this journey as much as I have.